guys, Ash Lane here. Happy New Year to all of you. Today I'm going to be sharing some really cool 8 Earthquake, Queen Walk, Mass Witch attacks at Town Hall 11. They're 3-star attacks, they're very impressive, and a lot of people are looking for 3-star strategies but have difficulty at managing or micromanaging all the spell drops mid-rage. That seems to be one of the sticky points for attackers, especially at Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11, is knowing where and when to use all your spells in a 3-star attack. So these attacks don't require much spell usage because you're using 8 Earthquakes to totally open up these anti-3-star base designs. And you can see 8 Earthquakes have been dropped. You're starting off with a Queen Walk, and then you're just going to Mass Witch right into the center of that base. I'm going to bring you guys 2 attacks using the same strategy, and the cool thing about this strategy is you're just letting the Queen totally walk around the base. She does not have to join the rest of your army into the center, so there's not a lot of pre-planning regarding exactly where the Queen meets up with the rest of the army. You kind of just let her go ahead and walk. You use her ability if you need to. You use some wall breakers to bust through the outer core, and then one of these attacks is going to involve a golem. The other one's not even going to have a golem. It's just going to be total Mass Witch. So on this attack, the attacker is choosing to use for his additional 2 spells a rage spell to help keep that Queen alive, raging the healers on the Queen, a very effective and more popular strategy involving any either Super Queen or Queen Walk. You can see a lot of attackers opting to use the rage spells to keep the Queen alive through areas where she's going under heavy firepower from the defensive units. So obviously the rest of the raid is kind of just a Mass Witch, but obviously you don't have the spells. You're relying heavily on your Grand Warden to help get your troops through the areas that are more dangerous in terms of defensive concentration. Now, right now, we're about halfway through this base, and as you can see, most of the witches still alive there in the center under the protection of the Grand Warden, and the Queen still in her walk. Obviously, keeping the Queen alive is important here. That's why I'd really advocate using that rage spell. That way you have the Queen's ability and that rage spell to help keep her alive, as you're not going to have the Warden walking with the Queen. That's usually another added layer of protection using the Eternal Tome ability to keep your Queen alive, but in this case you're going to have the Queen going with the witches. So that's always a decision for the attacker to make on each raid. Do you want your Warden to go with the kill squad, or to go with the Queen? Or, I mean, there's a lot of options there as far as when to use your Warden, and on these attacks you're going to see the Warden used with the witches. Now this attacker is bringing the 8 Earthquakes again, starting with the Queen Walk. Same idea with the Queen. She's going to travel around the entire base, basically cleaning out the perimeter of the base. If we pause here, you'll see he kind of drops her in an interesting location. She's going to tag that army camp, and if she does, she's definitely going to go south from there. Or is she going to go north? This is the weird thing about planning a Queen Walk. Where is she going to go on the next unit, right? So my thought process would be she would hit that army camp, as she just did, and then head south because there's a large gap up there in the north. Let's see what she actually does. See, she is in fact going south, which is the smart thing to do. That's what I tell people a lot on these Queen Walk attacks. If you want to have a great idea as to where your Queen is going to head, place her next to an army camp. That will really help dictate which direction she heads. She'll usually head in the opposite direction of the army camp. So that's one way to pre-plan that. You can see there's no rage spell to keep this Queen alive, so the attacker is going to have to be very careful using her Royal Cloak ability if he deems it necessary in terms of her health there. It was close. She got really low. You have to keep an eye on that Queen's health at all times, because if she goes down, this strategy is not going to work, as you're really relying on her to take out the perimeter and create a nice funnel for the witches. You can see how the attacker delayed the witch deployment here. That way that the Queen would create that nice funnel area by taking out the units to the south of that entry point. Now we're going to go ahead and engage the center of the base. You can see yet again the 8 earthquakes really opens up a base. Now the nice thing about this strategy is it's really safe for 2 stars. So even if you fail against these Town Hall 11s at getting that 3-star, well, there's not much to this in terms of strategy. I mean, obviously it is an intricate 3-star strategy and it's going to be difficult to pull off the 3 stars. But with that said, it's actually very simple. It's much more simple than a traditional queen walk where you're going into like a La Lune towards the end, because there's so many different factors involving spells, entry points, how much damage the first phase of the attack can do versus the second phase. Here it's a little bit easier. You're just going ahead and creating a funnel for the troops with the queen walk. You're allowing your queen to walk around the base. If she gets to the tail end of her walk, by that time the witches and the skeletons are going to be distracting most of the defensive units, so you won't have to worry about her health towards the end of the raid. And as you can see here, another beautiful 3-star attack. I'll tell you what, guys, this is a really interesting and fun strategy to watch. I'm curious to hear if you guys have any success with it or if you give it a shot. Let me know in the comments below. Really interested to hear if anybody else pulls off this strategy. If you do, let me know. I just might head over to your clan and record it. So guys, have a happy new year, and as always, take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. Just a few ways you can help the channel out. Number 1, like. Number 2, subscribe. Number 3, comment. Tell me what you think of the video. I really appreciate it, guys, and it really helps me out a lot. Also, you can find me on social media. I'm active every day on Twitter at @clash_with_ash, and on Bindle chat group #ClashWithAsh. And as always, you can find me on my website at www.clashwithash.com. Thanks, guys.